Welcome to Ivory Classic. Today we're rating WrestleMania 5. Some things to know about this one is I would say this one is definitely a better WrestleMania. One of the better ones. I think that this show is what WrestleMania is about. It's main evented by Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage. Macho Man being the champion, of course, and oh boy. There's a lot of good on this show, but there's also a lot of bad or decent stuff. And that's all the good stuff I could say about this show. That's pretty good because the other shows I didn't have much good to say about. So WrestleMania is definitely improving. There's some matches that I think are good that many people would just look over and skip. And I'm going to tell you which ones those matches you shouldn't skip are. This match was King Haku versus Hercules Hernandez. Hercules Hernandez won by pinfall. I gave this match a 7 out of 10. I thought it told a good story. It was a good opening match. And overall, I enjoyed the match from beginning to end. I think that this told a story in the ring. And I think it did its job of opening the show. It was quite exciting back and forth throughout the whole match. And you know I like those back and forth type matches. So that's the reason why I give this one a 7 out of 10. It could have been higher if it lasted a little bit longer. But I think the 6 minutes it lasted were a good 6 minutes. I feel like this is one of the highest things I ever gave an opening match to WrestleMania so far. So that's a good sign of what's to come in this show. Just be ready. Yay! Good WrestleMania. The next match was the Twin Towers of the Big Boss Man and Hakeem the African Dream versus the Rockers, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. I gave this match a 8 out of 10. It went back and forth. Rockers used their speed, the Twin Towers used their strength, and I thought it flew well together. Of course, the match ended by pinfall with the Twin Towers winning. But I thought this told a decent story in ring and it flowed very well together, and ultimately I think it was worth a watch. If out of anything of this show, this is definitely one of the matches that definitely should be remembered, but probably isn't. It's one of the more decent matches of the whole show. It got an 8. What more could I say about it? It was a good back and forth match that deserved to probably be near the main event. The next match was Brutus the Barber Beefcake versus Ted DiBiase. I gave this match a 9 out of 10. But before I tell you what I liked about this match, we're going to play my new favorite WrestleMania game. Guess how Brutus Beefcake lost this match. If you guessed by pinfall or submission, you are wrong, because it's double countout. They both lost. But I thought the match was very good. They went back and forth. The only thing that stopped it from being the 10 is that double countout, which I thought was a very stupid finish, because they didn't want Ted DiBiase to lose, and they didn't want Brutus Beefcake to lose. And it ended up being quite terrible. The match itself was good, but the ending was terrible. I felt like that took away from the match itself. The match itself was very good. It was just the finish. The finish to the match just did nothing for me. If you didn't want either of them to lose, don't put them in a match. You know, because you wanted Ted DiBiase to look like this big main event guy, and you want Brutus Beefcake for some reason to look like this big main event guy. And you ended up getting a disappointing finish, which was a real disappointment, in my opinion. It could have been way better than it was. It could have been a 10, maybe even an 11, if it went a little bit longer, but told a good story, and that's what I liked about it. Next match was the Bushwhackers, Luke and Butch, defeating the fabulous Rougeaus of Jacques and Raymond. I gave this match a 0 out of 10. It was awful. It was just for the comedic. It was just the Bushwhacker getting their butt handed to them, doing some funny shtick in between it, and it was nothing interesting of a match. It was terrible. The only nice thing I can say about this is it certainly happened. And you want me to tell you what? I don't think I'm ever going to get into a point where I bring in negatives to the mix, but if you hit a 0, you messed up in more ways than one. And honestly, I think this match messed up in like 30 ways. It wasn't good. The Bushwhackers got their butts handed to them, and then they just won out of nowhere. It was diabolically bad, like extremely bad. So we go to a match between Mr. Perfect defeating the Blue Blazer by pinfall. I gave this an 8 out of 10. If you don't know who the Blue Blazer is, it's Owen Hart, and sadly, he died a terrible fate. But at least he died doing what he loved. That's all I'm going to say. But I thought this match was a very good back and forth match between Owen Hart and Mr. Perfect. Owen Hart being the Blue Blazer, of course. I honestly thought this match, there was a few times where it could have gone either way multiple times in the 5 minutes they were given, and they used it perfectly. There was nothing terrible about that match. It was just there. And it overperformed, I think. I think this should be remembered as a WrestleMania classic. But, this is one of the matches you should definitely watch on the show. I say that a lot, but this is the one you should watch amongst anything else. This was a real good match, and I don't think people give it its credit. Watch it, and you can see what I'm talking about. It went back and forth, and people love this. And people would love it. It's just good storytelling from beginning to end, and that's what I liked about it. And I gave it an 8, so I really like it, almost. Next was a handicap match for the WWF Tag Team Championships. The Tag Team Champions, Demolition, Axe, and Smash, defeat the Powers of Pain, the Warlord, and the Barbarian, and Mr. Fuji. I gave this match a 5 out of 10. I thought it was definitely a decent match, but they went too much into the one team overpowering the other team coming back stick. You know what I mean? Where one team is dominant almost all the way through, and then all of a sudden the other team comes back a little bit, and then Mr. Fuji wrestled, got his butt kicked for a little bit, and then threw sand in the Barbarian's face, causing them to lose. I thought this match was very lame finish, and overall not that good of a match, but I thought it was watchable. That's the reason why I gave it a 5. I didn't think it was bad, I just think that the finish was bad. Overall, I think the match could have been much better, but that's just my personal opinion. Some people may have liked it. This is one of those passable matches, but it's watchable, It's passable, but it's watchable. Most definitely. That's one thing I could say about it. This match was Dino Bravo defeating Robin Garvin by pinfall. I gave this match a 6 out of 10. I thought it was alright. They went back and forth, but this match didn't really do much for me. I thought it was alright for what it was. They went back and forth a little bit. They both got some momentum in. I liked it. It just wasn't the best match of the night by far. And that is something I have to say. This match happened. It was decent, but it ain't, the best match out there. it gets a 6. It's in the middle. It's not real good, it's not great, but it's there, you know? It's definitely watchable if you want to watch it. Next match is the Brainbusters, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard defeating Strikeforce, Tito Santana and Rick Martel. This match I gave by pinfall, I gave this match a 7 out of 10. I thought it told a decent story with Rick Martel walking out on Tito Santana, but I felt like it went too much into the Brainbusters dominating instead of, out of nowhere, Rick Martel just leaving and betraying Tito Santana. I thought it could have been told better, but I thought the match was fine. I gave it a 7. I thought it was good enough to give a 7. So that means I enjoyed it somewhat. I thought it told a story. I enjoyed the story and the match, so I gave it a 7. I feel like this is one of those things you can pass, but if you want to watch it, you can. I would recommend watching it, but I would also recommend it being passable. It's passable, but if you want to watch it, you should. That's my opinion on this match. I give it a 7 out of 10. It's good, it's just not anywhere near that 8, 9, 10 level where it's like, you really, really should watch this, Next match was Jake the Snake Roberts defeating Andre the Giant in a special guest referee match with Big John Studd as special guest referee. And now it's time to play my favorite game. Guess how Andre the Giant lost the match? Did you guess disqualification? If you did, you were right. And guess what? This match gets a 0. Watching this match was terrible. Andre couldn't do much at the time, but it was awful. Andre moved like as slow as a snail. The only thing he did was choke out Jake the Snake Roberts, bounce in the corner after every once in a while. Ted DiBiase came out of nowhere just to steal Damien, and Andre all of a sudden just started to choke out Big John Studd to lose the match, and then he threw Damien in the ring. Andre run, Big John Studd disqualified him. It was so confusing and so utterly terrible as far as in-ring action. I know Andre was very limited, and he was in a lot of pain. You could tell on his face that every time he moved, he looked like he was in pain. It was terrible to watch. It's like seeing this legend be a shell of his former self. It was terrible. I definitely would not recommend watching this one. Stay far away from it. Stay far. And I mean far away with it, like a 10-foot pole. Completely stay away. This match is the Rhythm and the Hart Foundation, Bret the Hitman Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart defeating Rhythm and Blues, Greg Valentine, who deserved better to be put in this match, and the Honky Tonk Man by defeating them by pinfall. I gave this match a 6 out of 10. It went too much into that stick like the other tag team matches did, where one team overly dominated the whole thing, and it ruined my enjoyment of the match itself. But did I think they told a good story in the ring, and I think it's watchable? Yes. But I think it went too much into one team destroying the other team, a stupid win where the faces cheated to win, and they were still considered the good guys, and, good morals to kids, cheat to win. That's my opinion on this match. You want me to tell you what? I thought it was passable, but it wasn't like, ooh, an instant classic. The Honky Tonk Man wrestled good in it. Greg the Hammer Valentine deserved better, because I like his matches, but this match I just didn't see that much redeeming about it. Greg the Hammer Valentine had many good matches at the past WrestleManias. If you want to see my highest rated Greg the Hammer Valentine's match, watch WrestleMania 4 review, because I gave one of his matches an 11, the highest honor you could give in my videos, and this is a downgrade from that, and I feel bad for him. Next match is for the Intercontinental Championship, and it is Rick Rude defeating the Ultimate Warrior to become champion by pinfall. I gave this match a 9 out of 10. I thought it told a good story. They went back and forth, and I thought the wrestling in this was good, and I would recommend this match. Most definitely would recommend this match. It's something worth watching. I thought it went back and forth enough for my liking, and out of the other matches, this one by far is one of the better ones of the night, and I recommend watching this one too. Completely recommend watching this one over anything else in the show. It's one of the better matches. The main event is, of course, the best match tonight, but this one is also quite up there. This match was Jim Duncan versus Bad News Brown. And it's time to play my favorite game, which I give a 4 out of 10. How did this WrestleMania match end? Did you guess double disqualification? If you did, you are right. I gave this match a 4. It was good in ring, but the ending dropped it down a lot. But then the Bad News Brown got a steel chair, and Junkin got the 2x4, and they start swinging it at each other. That was pretty cool, and that's how the match ended by double disqualification. I thought the match was alright. It's definitely passable, not worth watching. Yeah, that's all I could say about it. Match was the Red Rooster defeating Bobby the Brain Heenan by pinfall in 33 seconds. This match got a 0 out of 10. The Red Rooster won, of course. It was just so short and meaningless, it gets a 0. There was no good quality about it. It was just that short. Why even have this match as the semi-main event? This went on before the main event. It was terrible. There's no redeeming qualities about it. The main event for the WWF Championship, where Hulk Hogan defeated Macho Man by pinfall to win the title. I give this match an 11 out of 10. I liked this match very much, so they went back and forth until the finish, where Macho Man dropped the elbow on Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan did his moves of doom like John Cena would do, and then won the match. Overall, I gave this match 11 out of 10 because I thought it was a good, but the whole WrestleMania gets an 8 out of 10. I thought it was decent, but not the best one out of the bunch. And honestly, that's a compliment. I thought, because the other ones have been either really bad or really decent. This is Cookie King 7. No, this is Comic Cookie 73. Goodbye. I forget who I am sometimes.